I love Encore. I named my team Encore. I just think it's such a fun move on the team. Every turn I would think, can I Encore here?
Now the real T is actually didn't name my team Encore. I named it Pitchy Pitchy. Now if you don't know, there is this amazing Japanese anime called Mermaid Melody Pitchy Pitchy Pitch. It's one of my favorite shows. It's like the High School Musical of anime. I know every single song to it. I love that show. And I thought I want to add a bit of girly pop in this team because obviously this is not my team. The only thing that is arguably girly pop is Galarian Weezing, which we will touch maybe upon this in the next video or later on in this video. I am not sure. Now, I am the only day 2 Dragonite in Stockholm 2025, and there were 4 Dragonite in total on the weekend. So, you know, 1 out of 4, I was that girl once again clicking that Terra Normal E-Speed on stream, off stream, everywhere. Now, I want to show you something. First of all, if you are a true Pokemon trainer, you have to believe in that you need the bond with your Pokemon, right? And this Dragonite I caught at the start of my Scarlet and Violet journey. So this is back in 2022. And I have been using this, I don't know if you can see it, this little amazing screensaver. Very cute. And also, my friend bought me this card at Stockholm to wish me good luck to get crits on my Extreme Speed. I think it's so gorgy. And my Dragonite really pulled through. It really crit when it had to crit, and I couldn't have asked for more. You know, I got the credential, right? First of all, I mugged on stream. Now, I don't think a lot of people can say the same. That's not true, actually. That's not true. That's a lie. Number 2, someone told me that I should start creating content because apparently I have a very crisp voice on stream, which, you know, I can see it. I definitely think they had some settings in that microphone that they gave me because I don't think I sound that way in real life. But insert screenshot here of this amazing Australian player, kind of hot also, that I met in Honolulu. Thank you for your compliment. It really boosts my ego. Thanks for pushing me to day 2. I appreciate that very much. Number 3, I do have some accomplishments. You know, like when they were listing out my accomplishment on stream and I said, damn, I came a long way. I think in my first year in 2024, I day 2'd twice in total. I went to like 6 majors, I think I would say, in 2025. So I have been to 5 majors now. I have only missed on 1. My first major, Dortmund, I lost my win into the eventual winner, Davida. But since then, I have day 2 all of my events. So it's my 4th consecutive day 2. Very happy to have become a player with consistency. You know, this is the word VGC player loves to use the most, consistency. You know, I have been very consistent. I'm consistent in my day 2ing right now. I'm consistent in the Pokemon I choose to bring. Always, you know, bring a little bit of a flair right there. And then consistent with my outfit, my amazing outfit at regionals. You know, someone got to do it. And I just know when the photographer, when they are taking pictures of me, they said, ooh, this is going to be a good picture. That's my credential. You know, I am not Wolfie. I'm not Joe Ugarte. I'm not one of your top players, right? But I'm gay and I day 2'd 4 times in a row. So that's my credential. I want to kind of just look at the stream. No, actually before that, I'm so messy. Before that, let's take a quick look at my team, right? So first of all, I want to look at Kyle's team. Now this team is obviously built by Kyle Livinghouse. I've mentioned it on my stream already. I love this team. When I saw this team, I was like, ooh, I love this team. Like, I have only been playing Miraidon in Reg G and Worlds, but I think if I would have played something else, it would be Calyrex Shadow Rider. So I was like, this team I really like. I'm tired of clicking setup, right? That's all I did with my Calm Mind Parabolic Charge Miraidon, which, if you haven't known the team yet, there are quite some videos on YouTube playing team. James played my team. One of my favorite Taiwanese YouTuber also used my team, which if you know Mandarin Chinese, I would really highly recommend his video because he really taught me everything I need to know. Landed on this team and I said, well. There are some elements that I'm like a bit unsure of. Number 1, I'm not a biggest fan of Rocky Helmet. I understand it on, Redirector, like Ndidi or Among Us, but I was not a fan of this Rocky helmet. And after testing the team for a few times, I realized that the strongest part of Weezing is obviously its ability neutralizing gas. And how do I, intensify or like enhance that strategy, that advantage is to keep Weezing alive on board. And what better item to use than Citrus Berry? Now, you might say, well, there is CSR and CR running around with the Unnerve. They are going to stop you from eating the berries. Now, well, first of all, I almost never bring Weezing into my Calyrex Shadow matchup unless they're playing some sort of Dozo variant. Number two, Weezing in general is just really great into Miraidon, Koraidon, and Kyogre, right? They stop the weather, they stop the electric terrain, and you really appreciate the Citrus Berry then. If you just live for one more turn, you can maybe outspeed the Fluttermane. If you live for one more turn, maybe you have stall out the Tailwind from the Kyogre teams, and then you, stop them from getting a second Tailwind up because you can get Calyrex Shadow in and kill.
No, not that.
We shouldn't say kill. Knock out the Tornadoes before it can get its Prankster Tailwind up. So I highly recommend trying out this Citrus Berry set. And instead of Toxic Spike, I went for Poison Gas just because I really like the more immediate pressure that Poison Gas brings to the team. And obviously you don't have to worry about, Among Us in the back, Weezing in the back. Obviously the downside is it's not 100% accurate, and it definitely bit me in my ass in my round 8, replacing Heavy Slam on Iron Hands with Drain Punch. Now, Heavy Slam used to be very popular because of Fluttermane, and obviously you do want some tools for Fluttermane because the speed booster ones outspeed Calyrex Shadow, and then they can Icy Wind and break your Sash and all that. However, we do have Weezing, which we can stop the speed boosters, basically forcing the Fluttermane to either Terra, Protect, or unless they have Sash. Otherwise, Astral Barrage will always just KO if you Terra Ghost. So I thought I have enough Fluttermane answers. Weezing, Scarf, Urshifu is also a great answer. So I said I really want Drain Punch. Like, I know Low Kick does a lot of damage and I want to keep that, but Drain Punch does so well into Terapagos, especially next to Weezing. You ignore the Terra Shadow and you heal up so much. It does a lot to obviously Ogerpon, Fire, and Rock. You heal back also a lot from Ogerpon, Rock. With Low Kick, Heavy Slam, and Wild Charge, you really cannot hit Fire Ogerpon, which is like kind of an issue. And obviously Dark Urshifu, Drain Punch just like does wonder. Like some EV changes, but I'm not going to disclose that because, at least for now, because some of my friends want to bring the team to their next regional. I need to help them where I can. So now, going into this match, I kind of knew they were going to lead Incineroar's CSR because Incineroar is just like a very safe lead into this team. The only really Pokemon to counter Incineroar is Urshifu, but because we don't run Terra Ghost and we don't have Giraffe or Ndidi, Fake Out into Urshifu is super, super safe. So here I go with Calyrex Dragonite because they're both immune to Fake Out, and with Astral Barrage I can threaten the Calyrex to Terra, which makes the Extreme Speed able to hit into the CSR, right? So here I could obviously go for Terra Normal E-Speed, predicting the Terra Fairy into CSR, predicting them to not protect, but they can easily protect, Parting Shot my Dragonite, go into Clefairy to redirect the Encore. So I thought I'm just going to go for the safe damage onto Incineroar here, and that's why in all games I chose to Terra Normal E-Speed Incineroar, including I played Timothy's friend Pierre in my last round. And each of this game, if I just had the balls to go for E-Speed into CSR, I would win turn 1 on the spot because Terra Normal E-Speed plus Astral Barrage will take out the CSR. However, here you can see I just go for a Terra Normal E-Speed and Astral Barrage to do like as much damage as I can, chip the team down. I'm actually really surprised that Timothy didn't go for Parting Shot here. If he would have just gone for a Parting Shot into, let's say, Dragonite and bring in a Rillaboom, that would threaten a Grassy Glide onto my CSR. So them clicking Knockoff was definitely like a huge advantage for me. Like basically by them knocking out Calyrex here, it gave me such an amazing board position with Dragonite and Scarf Urshifu being on the board at the same time, both super duper fast and ready to do a lot of damage. So here what I'm thinking is there's definitely Clefairy in the back. So I'm just thinking, well, there's going to be a Clefairy switch in somehow. I know I'm in a very good position. I just want to capitalize on my offensive prowess here. If Clefairy switches into Incineroar slot, I'm pretty sure either Extreme Speed or Surging Strike would KO Calyrex. I know he's most certainly not going to protect Calyrex here because Surging Strikes go through the Protect. So I said I'm just going to double into that slot. If he protects, switch into Clefairy, my Surging Strike would still go through Protect and do enough damage for Extreme Speed to pick up the KO next turn. And if he doesn't protect, then Extreme Speed plus Surging Strike should just kill. Even if Extreme Speed doesn't pick up the KO, Surging Strike would take out the KO. If it doesn't switch in Clefairy, Surging Strike would just be redirected into the Incineroar slot. So here, Friend Guard did come in very clutch to save CSR from the Extreme Speed, but luckily I doubled into that slot, and so I just take out CSR from here. And basically, I don't think there's any way I could lose from this slot unless I'm a little bit cuckoo. You will see that I choose to target my Surging Strike into Rillaboom because I know if I just put Rillaboom in a low health, one more Extreme Speed would just KO it. Thankfully, this Clefairy only runs Life 2, so I really have no pressure. Like, it's exuding zero pressure onto the board. Like, I don't care about the Clefairy at all. Maybe if it knows Sting, then I have to like really think about which target I target. However, here Clefairy just like, yeah, exudes zero pressure. So you can see me just putting Rillaboom into a very threatening health. And also in this turn, I learned basically that Extreme Speed plus Surging Strike would KO Rillaboom without Friend Guard. So that's also like a very good to know because sometimes I don't know my calcs. And I'm like, good to know. Good to know for the next game. So yeah, after this, Timothy goes for Windhammer Life 2. And because my Dragonite is still alive, the slot of the Rillaboom is for sure going to get KO'd next turn. Even if he switches into Incineroar, that would KO Incineroar. And I can just go for E-Speed the next turn again. So pretty much game over. Timothy surrenders. So let's going to go on to game 2. Now game 2, same lead, and we actually went for the same turn 1, which I was actually very surprised. I really thought Timothy would protect his CSR this time and go for a parting shot. So I made the same play because my best line into that play is Astral Barrage plus Extreme Speed to just like get as much damage as I can onto Incineroar for the parting shot. But then again, Timothy chose to go for Terra Fairy, Astral Barrage, and Knockoff into my CSR. And at that point, I just thought to myself, well, like, you're putting yourself into the same position, which is obviously like a very bad position for you. Obviously, he's going to make some changes into his turn 2. But I thought, you know, it still puts me into like a very, very, very good position. So I said, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to Surging Strike plus E-Speed into that slot. If he switches into Clefairy, he already knows his Calyrex Shadow will go down. He can switch in to Clefairy or Rillaboom in this slot, but I know I will KO with both. I think the correct play here is actually to switch in Rillaboom, sacrifice your Rillaboom, get a parting shot into my Dragonite, then you bring in Clefairy plus CSR. My E-Speed would miss the KO onto a Friend Guard CSR even if I switch into POW, and then you can get like a big Draining Kiss into my Incineroar and heal back up. I think that was the correct play from Timothy, but maybe he expected Clefairy to live. Now, I also didn't know if Clefairy would live this double up, but luckily it did KO. So it's just a parting shot into a Dragonite here. To guarantee he has a fake out next turn for Incineroar. If he would have just gone for Will-O-Wisp, then obviously CSR is still threatened by Surging Strike the next turn unless he brings in Rillaboom. So I think the parting shot is definitely like the right play. However, I think like switching into Rillaboom would have been a better choice. Doesn't know my 4th Mon yet because I also didn't show my 4th Mon in game 1. That's also like another reason I chose to not switch on my Urshifu. I'm like, if I can preserve this information, it could be very helpful in the next game. And it definitely did because maybe he was expecting, I don't know, like Weezing back or like Hands back. But here I actually have POW back. So I thought to myself, now please, the Swords of Ruin, please boost my Extreme Speed back up because obviously Draining Kiss would just heal CSR back so much with Urshifu and Impalbo both being weak to Fairy. Now here, I guess like the counterplay to my play from Timothy Timotei. Tim is to protect his CSR and go for Woodhammer into the Urshifu slot. But obviously that's like not very safe or intuitive because my Urshifu could just Surging Strike his CSR and that would knock out CSR. But I guess he kind of has to make like a hard read because I have just been playing like very straightforward, I think, until this point. Like I've just been doing like the thing I know would kind of work. So I think he could have like maybe like taken some risk there, but if my back was not POW, then that play would have always worked, right? So yeah, here, thank God the extreme speed knocked out CSR. Here, my best play is actually to switch out POW into Urshifu and then extreme speed. I just wasn't thinking a lot. Here, I was like, oh, as long as it doesn't like fake out my POW, it's fine. I should have switched into Urshifu because then my Dragonite takes less damage from Woodhammer. The next time I just go for CC and extreme speed. But yeah, it doesn't really matter too much. But I was like looking at the VOD and I was like, that's somewhere I could change for sure to play even more optimal. Now I do want to look at my whole Stockholm run, especially the matches where Dragonite came in and became clutch. Okay, so round 4, I played a Kyogre Hyper Offense team, Tailwind team, and with this archetype, I have one line. I always go with my Wheezing Dragonite line because I just know I have to stop the rain and I have to do damage to Kyogre immediately so it doesn't get off strong water spouts. If you lead Wheezing CSR, they can like protect Tailwind or something like this. So I'm tired of that. So I said I'm going to E-Speed. And this is where the bond with my Dragonite really comes in, you know. Basically, the decision they have to make is whether they go for Origin Pulse or if they go for Ice Beam into Dragonite calling the no Terra. Now, turn 1, game 1, I said, let me just Terra. I want to do as much damage as I can. I know Terra Normal E-Speed will not KO Kyogre, but it would put him to like 20%. It would die to most likely 2 Dazzling Gleam. So I was like, okay, I either E-Speed Dazzling Gleam or I E-Speed Taunt the Torn. Just in case, you know, he's greedy and goes for Bleak Wind Storm or goes for, you know, whatever. Then we can stop either the Rain Dance or the Tailwind after. Luckily, with my trusted Dragonite, my Extreme Speed crits turn 1 and just OHKOs the Kyogre. And, you know, I felt bad, obviously a little bit, but at the same time, I cannot help but wonder, why am I such a good player? I crit the Kyogre, and then basically game 1, I just won. I win on that spot. And then game 2, and this is a fun little tip, a little tips and tricks for y'all. People who want to get into VGC is to try to like have a little bit of a psychology thought into it, right? So I thought, well, you literally get your Kyogre knocked out in game 1 with a Terra Normal Extreme Speed. So I said, there's no way that he Ice Beams into my Dragonite. So I said, I'm going to Terra Water my Wheezing actually, and I'm just going to go for E-Speed into Kyogre. It's a 2-hit KO anyway, and go for Taunt onto Tornadus. And to my delight, the Torn went for Bleak Wind Storm, and the Kyogre went for Urgent Pulse. So both my Pokemon actually took the damage really well. And now I taunted the Torn so he cannot Tailwind. I chip a bit more, and then I bring my Calyrex Shadow in and just go for Astral Barrage. So yeah, I just had a clean 2-0. Obviously, I got very lucky in game 1, and I utilized that luckiness into game 2. You know what I mean? So that was like a proud moment. But still very happy with the matchup. My opponent played very well. He also day 2'd. So definitely one of like the highlight rounds. And then another one I want to highlight is my last round against Pierre. Pierre is Timotei's friend, so they run the same team, and I said, okay, well, there's no way they don't come up with like some sort of line into my team because of how I kind of destroy Timotei on the stream. And so I said, well, the best lead they have into my line, into Calyrex Shadow and Dragonite, is leading Pelipper and Calyrex Shadow, because with Wide Guard, I cannot threaten their Calyrex Shadow to Terra into Fairy, and my Extreme Sea will obviously not hit Calyrex Shadow, and their Pelipper is also Terra Ghost, so it can really shut down my lead. And so I said, I'm going to go Urshifu, basically just calling the Pelipper lead. If they lead Pelipper, then I basically just win on the spot because I can threaten a Scarf, Surging Strike into the Calyrex immediately. Unfortunately, they led the same thing, all 3 games actually, in Cineroar CSR. And so I lost game 1 because they just go for Fake Out Draining Kiss, and I didn't want to like waste my Terra Water. Basically, I lost game 1. I said, okay, I'm going to go back to what I am used to. So I went for CSR Dragonite again. the day before, I was kind of like just kind of like recapping the match, and I thought, oh, I told my friend, I was like, actually, they could just go for Draining Kiss knockoff into my CSR if they really want to knock out my CSR turn 1, because by doing so, my CSR would still go down to knockoff, but they actually gain a bit of a health back from Draining Kiss, and maybe they can survive like my double up from Extreme Speed and Surging Strikes. And so I protected my CSR, and to my surprise, to my prediction, Raven Simone, they Draining Kiss knock off my CSR, so I basically just got a free E-Speed into Incineroar, by like at that point it's just very difficult for me to lose. Game 3 kind of came down to a crit again. Thank you, Dragonite. It was very much like, okay, do you predict if I protect CSR, then they go for life do on Clefairy and stuff like this. But then, to be fair, because of this line that they were trying to go for, like trying to save CSR, I got at least like 4 Extreme Speed in, plus Astral Barrage. If any of one of those move crit, I just win on the spot, and it did crit. So I got lucky, but I don't feel too bad, just because I think I have clicked enough moves for it to crit. So that was like a funny little anecdote of just like adapting, and maybe sometimes you don't gotta adapt, because when I try to adapt, when I try to take my risk, I lost the game, and that really could cost me my top 32 placement. So thank God my Dragonite pulled through when it has to. A long portion of this video is me yapping, but I do have a lot of video ideas coming up that's going to be super duper fun. Like obviously I'm trying to blend that VGC competitiveness with like more girly pop, more casual players. And I'm not saying I will be the person to do so, but I do think I want to bring this little fun vibe to VGC and continue to build fun teams and bring this little saucy, this pink sauce to the competitive scene. Anywho, this is me, and I will see you very soon. Actually, that's not my worst nightmare. My worst nightmare is pulling cute white twigs. I swear my win rate against those, my God, it's like they have a curse on me. Like I just get like distracted. It's like an extra follow me in front of me, and I'm just like, I cannot focus. No, that's not true. I think maybe it's just, I don't know what it is. But anyway, if you're a cute white twink, please do not pull me, because I will lose and I don't like losing. So thank you very much for your cooperation.